G'day and welcome to the Guy Who Sews podcast, episode 151. In today's episode, I'm going to show you that we made more than one mistake on this, and also the things I've been working on and completed, plus so much more. If you're new to the channel, I'd love it if you say hi in the comments, and if you're returning, welcome back. Let's go ahead and get started with our works in progress. I made some good progress this week, and I'm really happy to be able to share that with you. The first thing I want to show you is what you just got a glance at a moment ago, which is the February Gnome by Cotton Cuts, and we are almost done. So close to being done, we just had this one little strip left that I didn't quite get around to before recording the podcast. So let's take a look at what we've done so far. We now have the heart, we have the beard, and we just got to put this little strip down the bottom, so when you come back next week, you'll be able to see that as well. And this one's turned out really cute. And a little later in the episode, I'm going to tell you where we made another mistake on this quilt. It's a fun story. Stay tuned for that. And the other thing I want to show you is another update on Piglet, which is part of the 100 Acre Wood Sold Along by Art East Quilting Co. And this one's been so much fun. I've had really enjoyed working on these blocks. I did Poodle recently, a couple of weeks ago, you saw that. And I showed an update on last week's podcast with the embroidery, which is a fun new skill I'm learning. But I also showed this part of Piglet last week, but I went ahead and finished him up, and now he's on this wonderful little honey pot with the bee and the honey spilling out here as well. The only thing I have left to do now is do some embroidery here on the tail, and also write the word honey, which is spelled H-U-N-N-Y in the Winnie the Pooh world, and then this block will be done as well. And we may get this all done before block 3, which is Rabbit, comes out. So that's what I have for my works in progress. We'll now move on to our week in review, and if you're new to the channel, this is just a series of videos I take during the week. A lot of it is me sewing, but also any adventures we get up to, so I hope you enjoy. Last week, as part of the episode 150 celebration, I asked everybody what their favorite episode was, or favorite video, and I loved reading all the responses. Some of the most popular answers were watching the investigating quilts, which I need to make another one of those videos very soon. Seeing the kiddos and the adventures we get up to, which is great because I love being able to share that with you and share that footage that we take with the kids each week. The Art East time lapses, the Cotton Cuts, just a little bit of everything. It seems like a lot of people enjoy a lot of the content, which really makes my heart happy. This week I wanted to know, what is your current project that you're working on? What are you putting your focus into? And if you're working on 3 or 4 projects or 10 like I am, list them all if you want. I'd love to know what you're working on. If you ever have pictures, I'd love to see them both in my Facebook group or my Discord group as well. There'd be a lot of fun there as well. So what are my goals for this week? Well, kind of finish up the stuff that's almost done. First of all, we'll finish up. I want to finish up this gnome. We have that one row left to go, so then that quilt, that top will be done. I'd like to finish Piglet, who should be turned the right way up, because, again, we've just got to do the embroidery, so that should be fairly easy. And then I would also like to get a couple other projects done that will be more time sensitive. And you get to see those, hopefully, completed projects next week. And then, I keep saying it, but I'm going to get this caterpillar cut out sooner rather than later. I've got the fabric sitting out here, makes my life a little easier. Let me know what your goals are for this week. So next up is our news and events, and we just had the one video come out in the last week, and that was the live that I had yesterday with my friend Kristen from over at Quilter Chris. She's a fairly new YouTuber, and it was fun having her on, get to know her a little bit better. If you haven't checked out her channel, go over and say hi, check it out, and if you like it, hit that subscribe, like the videos and that sort of thing there as well. This coming week, I'd love to get an investigating quilts episode out. It's been way too long since I've done one of those. Hopefully we can get the Piglet time-lapse out, and then we'll also have a live this coming Saturday morning with my friend Tasha from Tasha Quilts. She was on a few months ago, but I figured it was time to bring her back and see how she's been since I've talked to her last. So earlier in the episode, I teased that there was more than one mistake in the February gnome, and I'm going to reveal that to you in just a moment. I want to say thank you to the several viewers that pointed this error out in the comments last week, because up until the time that you told me this, I had no idea. Maybe I would have figured it out as I went along, maybe I wouldn't. And I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do about that in just a little bit as well. So let's see if you can spot the mistake. We're doing this the second week in a row. Can you tell what the second mistake is? I'll give you a clue here real quick. This is what it's meant to look like. This one here. And this is how it looks. So this beard is actually supposed to come down here and down here. He has a funky looking mustache, but I think it kind of looks kind of cool. And I've decided to leave it. It's my own unique spin on it, and that's just, I'm going to leave it in. I think it looks fun. It's almost like he has like one of the little handlebar mustaches. But the fun part about this is not the first time I've goofed these up. The May gnome that I did last year, or early this year, I can't remember when I did it, to be honest. I mean early this year. I goofed this one up as well. Same exact thing. Beard's supposed to go out and in, and this one's turned out here. But I think this one's cute as well, and I decided to leave this as well. So out of the 5 or 6 gnomes that I've made, I put my own spin on at least 2 of them. But you know what? That's part of the fun of quilting. You get to do things in your own way, in your own time, and sometimes if you make an error, you leave it in. Just make it a happy accident or make it your own. So earlier this week, I got this wonderful letter from my friends up at the State Fair of Virginia, which had my report card in it for the quilt that's behind me that I entered into the State Fair earlier this year and got an honourable mention. I apologise for the noise in the background. That's Rowena redecorating her tank yet again. So this is the report card I got, and I was going to do a separate video on this, but the notes are very, very short, so I figured I'd just do it on today's podcast. So what they told us this time around is that they would just tell us the areas that we needed to improve. And so they told me that the piecing, that the squares need to be better aligned, and I knew that going into it. Like the center part off is probably off by a 1/16 of an 1/8 of an inch. It's very, very noticeable if you look at it closely at all. But you know, that's something I knew already, and I totally accept that as well. And then when they come to the borders, they said, well done, and that was all that they told me. So it looks like they were very, very happy with the majority of the quilt. The squares need to be better aligned, which again, that's something I knew. And apparently they really liked the border, which I thought was fun, because in the past, you know, sometimes they were wonky and that sort of thing there, but it looks like I did a really good job on that. I'm very proud of my honorable mention ribbon, and I'm really happy to see this report card here and see that for the most part, they were very happy with my quilt. So next up is my recent acquisitions. I've got a couple of things this week, and the first thing I want to show you is this wonderful Kona Cotton's jelly roll. But this one is actually called a skinny strip, so instead of being 2.5 inch wide, it's 1.5 inch. So that's going to be a lot of fun. A friend of mine at work got this recently, and of course she thought of me, and knowing my love of Kona, she thought it would be a good acquisition for me, and I totally agree with that. So thank you very much, Donna, for that one. I really appreciate it. And then yesterday I went to Joann's and got a few different things. This is the first fabric I got. It's a holiday fabric, and this is going to be turned into a project bag that'll have a zipper on top. So this is going to be the exterior fabric for that. And then I got this for the interior as well. So this is going to be for Amanda. I may make one for Allie too. We'll have to see on that as well. And I took my other exchange student, Eva, along with me. And she really, really liked the Disney villains fabric. And we got to make her a nice pillow for her bed. That's what she asked for, and I bought enough to make that. So hopefully you'll get to see that very soon. And then finally I got this one for myself. I have no clue what I'm going to do with it. But I am a huge fan of the Harry Potter books, and they have this fabric with all the books on there. I just think this thing's absolutely stunning and fantastic. I've got a yard of it. So I'll find something to do with it. Have any ideas, let me know. I'd love to hear. And finally, it is time to be able to share with you a completed block or a completed project. And this one is a really fun one. It is a tulip block, which is a free pattern by the Missouri Star Quilting Co. This was part of a block swap that I did about a year or two ago. I can't remember how long ago. And I did the quilting on a live about a year ago. And I'm really proud of this because it's one of my first attempts at free motion quilting. And I think it turned out really, really nicely. It kind of got set to the side, and I pulled it out the other day and thought it was time to go ahead and just put the binding on because it was a super quick project, and I think it took me roughly about an hour to do it, which was really fun. I put a hanging sleeve on the back. I do need to stitch it along the bottom here, hand stitch, so it's not quite done, but it's so close I figured I was going to call this one done as a completed project. Hope that's okay with you guys. Anyway, that concludes today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I'd love it if you hit that like button. It helps me and the channel out immensely. Tell a friend. I always love hearing comments from my viewers. And also, happy Thanksgiving. I'll see you all soon, and we'll hope you all have a great day. Bye.